I hope to see many of you in Los Angeles next week for Access Drive, presented by Sports Business Journal. If you're around, I hope you will say hi. And this is your Morning Buzzcast for Thursday, September 11th. I'm Abe Madkour. I was in Las Vegas on Tuesday as SBJ and the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority co-hosted an evening event at Circa celebrating Las Vegas's success as a sports market. And yes, as usual, the city was buzzing. You have the Canelo Crawford bout on Saturday night, the first fight at Allegiant Stadium, where they are expecting more than 60,000 fans. Then you have the Raiders opener for Monday Night Football against the Chargers. You have the Aces, among the best teams in the WNBA, and the Golden Knights getting ready for another season. Meanwhile, work continues on the new A's ballpark, which, if you haven't seen it, is right dead set off the strip on the site of the former Tropicana, and it will be a compelling location for such a modern-looking facility. A lot going on in Vegas. While I was in the city, my colleague and I took in the Hall of Excellence. That is a 3,000 square foot museum that has over 300 artifacts, which is at Fontainebleau, Las Vegas. If you are a collector, a sports historian, or just an avid fan, it's a fun journey of sports memorabilia and memories. And this was founded by Tom Brady and the sportscaster Jim Gray and his wife, Fran Gray. There are items from their personal collections. Many of these items were sitting in their closet, and so you have a number of compelling pieces. Plenty of Brady items, his draft card, play sheets from big games, jerseys. There's Michael Jordan's first worn pair of Air Jordans. There are bats from Jackie Robinson and Babe Ruth. There's Billie Jean King's tennis dress when she played for the Philadelphia Freedom. There are plenty of other uniforms, programs, game day tickets, a trophy room featuring all the major sports trophies. Among the many things to do in Vegas, this Hall of Excellence is worth checking out. Let's stay with Vegas because this looks to be the last year that the NBA will hold its NBA Cup semifinals in the city, as the league will shift the semifinals starting next year, the 26-27 season, to the home arenas of the higher-seeded teams. Now, the championship game will remain at a neutral site, so that could stay in Las Vegas. But remember, the semifinals and finals of the Emirates NBA Cup have been in Las Vegas, and the crowds in the afternoon had been lower than some had hoped, and this is probably the reason for the change. Eventually, the NBA Cup could be mobile. Other cities have bid for the semifinals and finals. Miami, Orlando, other markets have bid on this event. And so it's possible in the future it could shift to one of those markets or somewhere else. Sources believe that eventually the NBA Cup championship game could be played at a team's home site, which would virtually guarantee a very raucous game environment. That's what they're looking for to really amplify the game experience. But for now, this fall's semifinals and finals of the NBA Cup will remain at T-Mobile Arena, but eventually could be on the move. As I was flying back from Vegas yesterday, I received a number of text messages all about the World Cup ticket presale. I was unaware what was happening, but from the tone of the messages, I could tell there were some issues. The first day of ticket presale, which was Wednesday, and remember, we noted this was exclusively for Visa cardholders, resulted in long waits and at times error messages. So this wasn't the smoothest first day of a ticket presale. As one source texted me, quote, "If you're Visa, are you more excited that the World Cup presale for tickets is super popular? Or are you disappointed in FIFA for not having the website optimized or ready for the massive traffic?" End quote. He said he waited an hour in a queue only to get error messages when ticket sales began yesterday. Fans had to log on to the FIFA website and apply for tickets. Now, FIFA, they said extraordinary demand led to extended wait times as the ticket presale opened. So we'll continue to watch this. This was in day one. The window for the presale ends September 19th, so another 8 days or so. But again, this is not unique, but it's always unfortunate and very, very disappointing to the consumer. Let's move on. Two big stadium projects of note I want to reiterate. I know my colleague Joe Lemire mentioned on the Buzzcast that the Broncos are moving forward with the idea of a retractable roof stadium. So why do I bring this up? Because going in that direction will put Denver firmly in the competitive set for big events. We're talking Super Bowls, CFPs, NCAA Final Fours, major concerts. So with this approach, the team can keep the roof open for those cold weather football games for the Broncos and try to maintain that home field advantage that is so important to fans and the organization. But by putting on a roof or having a retractable roof, it puts the stadium in a different competitive group and will really impact the big event schedule in Denver and in the Mountain West. The new owners of the Broncos, the Walton Penner family, are making a lot of very interesting moves. I think they are really a smart ownership group. They are focused with this stadium on providing the modern amenities, but also having a flexible, multi-use building with very premium hospitality, which of course will include a year-round destination that includes restaurants and retail and apartments and housing. This is very early in the process, but Denver having such a major facility would be big news in the sports venue space. Now, we also know about the other main building we talked about, and that is the new Nissan Stadium. It comes up in pretty much every conversation I have because Nashville is such a compelling market. And right now, the construction project is on pace to be completed by February of 2027, and they would host events that spring. So the Titans will play at the current stadium for the next 2 seasons, but ticket sales for the new building are strong. 70% of the stadium is already sold. So again, this venue will be a major player for all the big events because this building also will feature a retractable roof, and Nashville is such a hot destination right now. You could see Super Bowls, CFPs, and other big events in that city. Let's move on to college sports. I have to touch on another trend we continue to see. Tampa Bay Sports Commission Executive Director Rob Higgins, he was named CEO of athletics at the University of South Florida. So why does this make sense for an institution to hire somebody with no experience in intercollegiate athletics? Well, first, Rob Higgins has an incredibly strong network, not just in that Florida market, but nationally. He has demonstrated a great ability to raise money, and that is the calling card for all new leaders in college sports. The University of South Florida is raising revenue and funds right now for a major football stadium project underway in North Tampa, and insiders believe Rob Higgins was the best person to get that accomplished. He's an alum. He is the first alum of the University of South Florida to lead college athletics. And again, he has the title of CEO of Athletics. And that indicates the different skill set, mindset, and focus of his role. And yes, we will continue to see more of these types of hires on campus. And finally, something easy, a new name has been unveiled for the combined Legends and ASM Global company. It will now formally be known as, yes, Legends Global. And this makes sense to me because Legends already has years of equity in that brand name. And now with the global reach of their facilities and sports venues, by combining with ASM Global, it makes sense. Now, I know a lot of people want to see a significant or dramatic or compelling new name or new brand introduced in the marketplace, but sometimes I believe keeping consistent makes the most sense, and it certainly does in this case with just the simple name of Legends Global. So a few takeaways from today's Buzzcast. First, Las Vegas continues to grow as a centerpiece of major sports events in the United States. The market just continues to lean in heavily on the sports business. Two, if you want to make your new facility a revenue and events driver, it better have a retractable roof for large-scale events 365 days a year. You're seeing that in Denver, Nashville, and even the Commanders' new stadium, where previous open-air stadiums all will be replaced with buildings with a retractable roof to host big events. And three, we are continuing to see the changing face of leadership in college athletics, less of those working their way up the ladder of athletic departments, but focus more on outsiders with business and revenue skill sets and a revenue focus. Three takeaways from today's Buzzcast. And that is your morning Buzzcast for Thursday, September 11th. I'm Abe Madkour. Thanks for listening. Stay healthy. Be good to each other. I'll speak to you on Friday.